Shilpi Chanda Show, and we have a new series called The Famous Figures. I couldn't have thought of any other person other than Srilekha. She is an amazing, amazing person, not only in nature, but in the work she does for not only for herself, for the community and everyone around. Let me just tell a few things about Srilekha because there is a lot to say, and I know I cannot even how much I say it's gonna be less for her. Srilekha Reddy Palle is PT, DPT, MBA, accomplished healthcare professional, entrepreneur, actively involved in global health consulting, executive leadership, healthcare policy, rehabilitation medicine, and she is also appointed by the governor of Virginia as the Virginia Asian Advisory Board. This is very little for Srilekha, but I want to welcome Srilekha. Thank you so much. Heartfelt thanks to you to come here and be a part of this show. Please share something about yourself to our audience.
Shilpi, first thing, thank you for inviting me. It is my honor and a privilege to be part of the Shilpi Chanda show. I have seen you, I have known you for about 8 years. And the first time I saw you, you had a large bindi and a sari, and you danced like a peacock. It felt like a little sister dancing away, and you danced like there is no other day, and that was a traditional dance, and that picture still is right in front of my eyes. So it is and one thing that I kind of tell is anybody can study hard, work hard, make money, do whatever they want to do if they put mind and heart to it, but art form is God given gift, and you young lady has it, and I have humongous respect for those folks not only that have the art form, which I think is coming from divinity, but actually put it for good use, because God gives it, but very few people actually put it for good use, and I have humongous respect for you. So the admiration is mutual, and I'm thankful I'm here. Going back to your question, I'm a very small town girl. I come from South India, deep South India, from Andhra Pradesh. I went to very small schools like most South Indians go. My mom ensured that I got into good schools. She wanted me to see that I got educated and so on and so forth. Came to United States when I was 22, worked extremely hard in the past 22 years. I had I'd seen my uncle, and my family was into community service, and that instilled a lot of values into me, my religion, my culture, and I kind of continued that for my children here. First I did it for my children, but then I realized that I was doing it with a larger purpose, and I just continued the same passion of not only just work, but also community service was so very important in this great country.
How far I have seen you from when I know you, you have just, for me, I just look up to you because you are becoming with the day, you're glowing. First of all, I must say that you're looking amazing. But I guess that's the inner glow that you carry with yourself. And we have so much to learn from you. The main idea of this show and this series is to introduce the large audience who want to be like people like you, famous like you, successful like you, but they are not finding a way, or they want to know or explore more. So I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, to get those answers from you, so that the people who are watching will learn from you how they can also be thriving in these professions. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely, Shilpi, absolutely.
So
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
to begin with, I would like to know what is the most interesting or fulfilling part of the work that you do? What is the most fulfilling thing that you find in your work?
So if you kind of remember the background, I know you were from North India and I was kind of South India, but I think the concept of education was kind of similar, right? You could either get into engineering profession or you could get into back home into medical profession.
So true.
I took what is called as MBIPC, which means that I could either get into engineering or a medical profession, but I was hell bent on getting into medical profession. Working with patients, I kind of enjoyed that aspect of serving people, right? So I feel like once you kind of know what you want to do, you can kind of hone your skills based on that. So when I kind of really didn't get into MBBS per se, I kind of continued to pursue medical field, which means that I still wanted to do clinicals. Even though I couldn't get into MBBS, I got into physical therapy school because I just really wanted to continue to be in medical school. So I did my physical therapy, came and did my doctorate in physical therapy. And one funny thing I say is I graduated with my doctorate in physical therapy 3 days before I had my second child. So I was like
Wow.
this pregnant. And I still remember the professor, Dr. Sears in Boston University, saying that you can just drop your baby right here. Don't worry, you're in a medical campus. So I think the reason I say that is saying that if you're kind of passionate about anything, you just kind of continue to pursue, right? Then you don't feel that every single day you're working. Like when I go into, like during COVID, when people
Mm.
felt like I can't even go into grocery store, it didn't scare me to go to hospital, because I was just really passionate, because I felt like if nurses can get into critical care and work with COVID patients. I was working as a healthcare director. So I said, I can supervise them. If they can go in and actually flip the patients and treat the patient, the least I can go in is provide emotional support and supervise them. I can surely do that. So I feel like once you're happy in your profession, you're content in your profession, and you pick things that you really like to do, you will continue to pursue them, and it won't scare me. Not a day I regretted not going to work during COVID, when 90% of my
Wow.
friends are IT professionals that prefer to stay at home. I don't blame them, because that's what the profession
Yeah.
demanded. And I'm sure they made different sacrifices taking care of children. So you can't undermine anyone. But I didn't regret going, because I
Wow.
felt like my colleagues are doing it. I'm not the only one that's doing it. There are truckers that are doing it. There are some teachers that are doing it. There are childcare daycare. So I am
Wow.
called to do this.
Wow,
So
that's
it just gives you a different
amazing.
appreciation for your profession.
Wow. I think this is so much, there is so much to learn from this, that, choosing a profession of your passion is so important. Then you can dedicate your life to it. You can dedicate your time to it. Wow, that's
Absolutely. I mean, think about you when you dance, you leave a different impression. I say about the same thing. I said 8 years back. I mean, you left such a strong impression on me because you love dancing. I see so many dancers, but very few dancers leave that kind of strong impression on us. You left our area, but I still know some people that talk about you as the minute Shilpi's name came, they say, "Oh yeah, the dancer." Not many people leave that strong impression. I think that's what makes it profession so enjoyable
true. That
when
is
you
so
really like
true.
what you do.
So true. Honestly, I know so many people, but few people really make a mark in our mind. And you are one such person, not only because you're so successful in what you're doing, but you're going beyond that success mark, and you're doing for people. You're doing so much. So I would want you to share, like, some of the things that you have done to achieve this success, and the people who are really striving and want to be like you. I don't mean that just be as a person, but maybe as a professional, they want to be like you. So what advice would you give to the newcomer, or who are changing careers, to someone going into the healthcare?
So Shilpi, I think what really I feel like if you have to stand out, right? In order to survive in this, especially as an immigrant,
Mhm.
if you have to come in here, you can either continue to do what everyone else is doing, which if you enjoy, that's okay. I always say you don't have to wake up every day and feel like you have to have this hustle culture that I have to stand out and be stressed every minute. But if you really want to do that, then you got to pursue it. I tell my kids too, every single day, you don't have to be stressed and you don't have to hustle. But if you really want to hustle, then hustle, right?
True, true,
It's
true.
like, but you don't want to say, I want to accomplish and sleep through every single day. It doesn't work. You got to pick and say, you want to hustle, hustle. You don't want to hustle, then don't talk about it and have a relaxed life. It is
True,
a-okay, but
so
it's your
true.
choice. I chose to hustle. That's me. I want to hustle. And I
So
want to
true.
hustle not for myself, but I want to hustle to advocate for people, right? In community service, when I was in Bal Gokul, I hustled for my fellow women because I knew they were getting up early morning, preparing breakfast for, and coming to temple and providing voluntary services to teach 200 children. So
Wow.
I saw that a lot of women teachers wouldn't speak out when there was things that were not right. And I wanted to hustle and fight with whoever I possibly can to ensure that their lives were smoother in the temple. So they would continue to volunteer because I knew it would benefit 200 children every year. So I started hustling when I was like 25 or 26. So I could
Wow.
protect this 30 teachers, female teachers. So 200
Wow.
kids would benefit. And I probably did it out of selfishness because one of those 200 kids were my child. I started off because I was selfish, because I thought, oh my gosh, if these teachers quit, Mahat wouldn't get that education. But
Mhm.
then it started off with, it's not just about Mahat, it's about these 200 kids, right?
Kids,
It didn't take me too long to realize it's just not about Mahat. It's about 200 kids.
kids.
It's about 200 times 20 years. It's 200 times 40 years.
Wow.
So that hustle culture. So I chose to hustle. And I think that to come to your point, it's just if you choose to hustle, then you got to stay, you got to know how to speak up, you got to know how to advocate, you got to know how to collaborate. I think that's one thing,
Mhm.
Shilpi. I say that when you say you have to stand out, you don't have to stand out and be abrasive. You don't have to stand out and try to fight it out. You got to be collaborative. You need to know when to be
Yeah.
assertive. You need to know when to be collaborative. You need to know when to go above and beyond. You need to know
True.
when to help out
Okay.
others, because I always say the only way you will come up is when you genuinely put in. One thing that I
True.
tell people is every relation is like an ATM machine. You got to invest before you expect outcomes. You just can't cash out. I can't just cash out and milk Shilpi. I have to invest. If I
Invest.
really want
Absolutely.
something from Shilpi, I have to invest in the relationship. I just
Absolutely.
can't keep asking things from Shilpi. So it's like you got to invest and so on and so forth, but you have to stand out. You got to develop skills. You got to invest in developing. One thing that I did in the first 10 years of my career is I took so many classes. I didn't care. I not that I didn't care about saving my money, but probably I spend about 10 to 15% of my money taking classes. I
Wow.
don't know how many immigrants would have spent that much money because we are so about saving money,
Saving.
but
I
I
know.
didn't care. I spent so much of my money going to courses, taking classes, didn't care about my own time. I went in, volunteered, took a lot of leadership activities. If I was wrong, I would admit that I was wrong, but I would say that I still want to participate. Can you give me a chance? And those are the things that kind of helped me grow and shine as I went along. I still have lots to do and ways to go, but at least I could confidently say that I'm here now. I know where I want to go.
Wow. You you are building a world. Like the way you're contributing, it's like you're making the world a better place with work you're doing. Like I see your post and the work that you're doing is amazing. I see like lot of stuffs you're doing. You are a role model for so many. So what would you say was your one of the major struggle in your life that that you had to face, and how did you overcome it?
I think the major struggle is picking your priorities, right? And I know this sounds like cliche, but saying no, right? I know it sounds like a cliche. Everybody has that issue, but I think really, as a female, sometimes it bothers you when you can't respond to your texts to people, but saying no. But I think what I have kind of come to realization is that there are some people no matter how busy I am, I will never ever say no,
Yeah.
right? I've gotten much better. I wouldn't say great at it, much better at realizing that this person means a lot to me. Like somebody like you would text me unless it totally skips my mind. I would absolutely find
Yes.
a way to respond to that and either say yes or no, but I will at
Really
least respond.
respond. True.
But there are some things that I am totally okay with ignoring at this point in my life because I just really know that. This is really not worth my time anymore. I've invested
Absolutely,
enough and
absolutely.
really it has not gotten anywhere. So I think multitasking goes only so far. Prioritizing your tasks and also only doing meaningful tasks. I think trying to understand that doing more is not necessarily a good thing, but only do
True,
I mean it's not like putting out every day a social media post is not necessarily a good thing, right?
true, true.
Just
It
being
has
busy just to be busy is not
been
necessarily a good thing. Like I
absolutely
would tell my own child that's going through college applications, you don't need to have 20 things, even though colleges right now would love to see, but just have like four quality things that you
true,
can
so
go
true.
and talk about it in depth. Like Elon Musk once said that if anybody comes to him for an interview, he will pick one task and ask them 10 questions. And if they have really shined in the tasks, he would know if they really actually did that task. He would
So,
really know by talking to them, right? Instead of doing 10 superficial things,
so true.
how much effort did you put in kind of developing the
Then
outcomes of it and
outcome.
stuff. So I think the doing meaningful things that you know that you can actually make a difference makes a big difference, and prioritizing and really saying no, but also saying yes to people and tasks. No matter how busy you are, you can say, no, this means a lot to me, so I'm going to
I'm
make
gonna
time for
make
this. I
wow.
think
So
that takes a long,
the
yeah,
balance of knowing where to invest your energy and time. That's so
yeah,
true. So true.
yeah.
So we have actually asked you so valuable things. Now I want to have some fun questions with you. There is some rapid fire questions and you don't have much time to think about it. So the first question, who is your role model and why?
I would say actually my dad. He was definitely the hard worker. I would say my dad was my role model. But that being said, I also said Narendra Modi ji. Believe it or not, I've kind of wanted to move on to Narendra Modi ji. I really started getting fond of Mr. Modi in the past
I
few
have
years.
I have seen pictures, you with Narendra Modi ji, right?
Yes, I went to his home last November. I was fortunate enough to be at his home last November. And I mean, I have humongous respect of the way he's leading. He's brought in so much respect for 1.4 billion Indian Americans. So I have a lot of respect. Granted, I started off with my dad. I still obviously is my role model. He worked very hard for us.
Mhm.
I have tremendous respect for my dad, but Narendra Modi ji is kind of shaping the entire
Indian.
world, and I have humongous respect for him too.
Okay, that's a good answer actually. The second one is, if you had to choose between mountains or beach, which would you choose?
I'm sorry if I to choose between.
A mountain and a beach, what would you choose?
I'm missing it. Mountains, and what is the second one?
Beach, sea
Oh,
beach.
beach. I would say mountains. I like walking and climbing, then laying and scrolling
Oh,
around, strolling
okay.
around. I know a lot of people would choose the other one, but I'm somebody that would say climb up.
Wow,
Yeah,
makes sense. Wow, that
yeah.
climb up has a
Yeah,
different.
I'm somebody that would say stay active, stay fit.
Okay, so the third question is, it's suppose a magic happens, you sleep and a magic happens, you wake up. What you gonna see?
I would love to see God.
Wow, that's a first. I'm having goosebumps right now.
I would
I've
love to
never.
see God. I mean, if something happens and I wake up, I mean, I would love to see Durga Ma. I mean, I'm a Shirdi Sai Baba. I mean, the first thing I wake up every day, I say Shirdi Sai Baba or Durga Ma. Those are the two things that come to my mind every
Oh,
single day.
wow.
And I'm a staunch Hindu American. I mean, I
That
wake up and sleep that
I
way.
have never heard this answer from anyone. This is amazing.
That's how I wake up and I sleep thinking of them. Yeah.
Wow. So, for all the audiences, if you have to give one life advice that you think you could have gotten some years back and it would have shaped you, not differently, because I know you're an amazing person, but uh, if you want to just give an advice to younger generation or someone who is not that motivated, what would that advice be?
I say mentor somebody and find a mentee. I said you at any point in your life, you whether you are a 50-year-old woman or a 85-year-old man or a 15-year-old little girl, you can always mentor somebody and you can always be a mentee.
Wow.
I think I need a mentor, but I also have the skill set to mentor somebody. I think if I was younger myself, I wish I had a good mentor. And I also wish I would have mentored somebody too,
Somebody.
because
Wow.
I always say everybody has the capacity to mentor somebody, right? And I also, everybody has to learn from somebody in life. It's like Montessori structure. That's why I think Montessori structure is so valuable, right? That age differences, and that's why I enjoyed even in temple atmosphere or churches atmosphere, you interact with older people, but you're also having younger folks. You're learning, you're teaching.
Teaching.
I think that
Wow.
collaboration, the Gurukul format, was amazing. I mean, that's why you should never forget the ancient scriptures, right?
Wow.
Those are the ones that were so valuable that we tend to have lost over the centuries or decades. Uh,
Honestly
yeah.
saying, I have goosebumps right now. I'm having chills with your answers. It's like it brought a different perspective in my life too. Like, interviewing is one thing, but learning is some part that I just love. When you're talking, you're saying something so valuable to the audiences. I'm pretty sure they're going to understand the value of what you have said, and it's going to shape so many lives. So
Thank you,
many
Shilpi.
lives.
And I'm sure just listening to you is this is going to be an amazing. You're going to bring such good people, and again, we all can learn from each other. It's
Absolutely, absolutely.
um,
The main idea of this show is to bring amazing people like you, who are not only successful but are doing such amazing work, serving people and making a change in so many lives. And there is so much to learn from you. So I am so thrilled today and so thankful. But before we part, I want to actually thank you from deepest part of my heart for your time. I know you're such a busy person. There is no time you're free. Even when you're free, I'm pretty sure you're doing something valuable. But if someone wants to connect with you, what is the best way they can connect with you?
LinkedIn is the best way. I'm on
Okay.
Facebook as well. I try to kind of keep community as a community outlook, and I try to keep professionally active as well. LinkedIn On LinkedIn, I try to post a lot of healthcare. Occasionally, I do some political posts on LinkedIn, but I try to kind of keep it healthcare policy wise. If the audience is very focused on healthcare, they can connect on LinkedIn. But if they want to connect with me at a personal level, I'm very open to Facebook, as long as most of your audience, I'm sure, are decent individuals. So Facebook is good. I'm on Instagram. I actually enjoy social media. I always am on Twitter too. I always say social media is a way to kind of keep connected with
Absolutely,
individuals. And we have
absolutely,
become global citizens, right? We are everywhere. And
absolutely,
our
absolutely,
friends as immigrants, we are here, but our parents are in India. And I'm sure all our friends have migrated to different continents, so it's just easy to keep in touch. So I'm on all social media platform, major social media platform. So I'm just very accessible that way.
absolutely, absolutely. I would encourage everyone, if you want to someone, if you're looking to be mentored by someone like her, then you can reach out. And please maintain the decorum when you're connecting. Please be nice, because she's an amazing person. Her time is really valuable. Do not just say a hi and leave the chat. If you have something, leave a detailed message. What is your requirement? Why are you connecting? What is the reason? In that way, even everyone can connect back in a more meaningful way, more informative way. What is the thing that you're looking for? But it was amazing, amazing, amazing talking to you and for your time. I have learned two amazing things today. Honestly, I had chills when you said. Uh, and For all who are watching, thank you so much for watching. And I'll come with more amazing people like her. Thank you, Srilekha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shilpi. I wish you all the very best with the show, and I'm sure it will be sound and successful. Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
me. Take care.
Thank you.
Namaste.